Hey there, welcome to Between the Lines. I think tonight we're going to jump right off into probably what's all over the news. I don't know. I don't watch the news. Maybe it's not on the news at all, but it's definitely on social media. And that's the current invasion of our country that's been going on for a little bit, but it's gotten really, really insane. Um, I mean, to me, it's real simple. You don't let people just come into your country. We're supposed to defend the borders. That's literally Congress's job to make it happen. So whenever they blame it on retard Biden, I mean they're just copping out because that is not just a one man situation. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but if you knowingly help an illegal alien into the country, it's actually a felony. It's on the books. It's what is it? 8 USC 1324. You can look that up and read it. But if you do it for profit, or let's say you're a company and you're hiring illegals, you help them get in, you're hiding the fact that they are illegals, it's a felony. You can get 10 years in prison. And some of the other penalties are like 5 years in prison and fines. So everybody that's helping, everyone that's knowingly helping illegals get into the country are committing felonies. All of them. I mean, there's no question. Look it up yourself and make that determination. If you can read, and I can read, and there's a law on the books, and they're not paying attention to it, they're literally ignoring the law, then that's just lawlessness. And something else you might want to look up, type in Google and ask if illegal immigrants get Social Security benefits. I think you're going to be blown away. So when you're forced to pay taxes, then you're literally paying for an illegal to get benefits they didn't ever paid into. So not only are we being invaded, we're paying for it. We're paying for it with all the logistics. Our border patrol's literally helping them come in. They're literally flying them around. So what's going on here? I mean, it seems like we got a de facto government at this point. So whenever you talk to your representatives, if that even matters anymore, I feel like we're pissing in the wind when we do that. I actually emailed one of mine today. I haven't done that forever because I just think it's an absolute waste of time. But I just put in all capital letters, secure the border. It's literally your job. And I'm sick of them pointing fingers. Both sides are full of shit. Okay, it's clear. There isn't a border, and this is something the UN really pushes. They did this in Europe first. All the stuff they did in Europe it's here now, and it's a big agenda, man. It's to tear the country apart. And I think we can all see that what it's doing to the country. I think some of these sanctuary cities they're understanding maybe they went a little too far. I guess when you call for illegal activity and you call for no continuity of your country, then you'll understand what happens when a bunch of people come in that have completely different ideas and there's no unity for the country as a whole. And we're going to see what happens in that regard. I mean, I'm more concerned about it's military age men. I'm not trying to sound paranoid. I mean, this is an observation any idiot can see. And when I see that they're getting here somehow from all these other countries and clearly somebody's helping them, what's the agenda? We can't keep closing our eyes to this. So know this, okay? I can wrap this part up. Don't feel sorry for them, okay? Even though some of them are trafficked, they're here illegally. They're an enemy to the country, and the people that are bringing them here, same thing. They're not our friends. They don't care about our country, and that's absolutely clear. Just take a look at Europe, see what's going on there, and what happened already, and that's right here at your doorstep. So plan accordingly. That's all I got.
Yeah, I don't know whether a lot of them are coming from that are coming in here, but I I saw something today. It was a country. I can't remember what the country was though, and he was announcing that all his prisons were empty. Their prisons in that country were empty, and I can't remember off the top of my head what country that was.
That reminds me of Christmas. I forget what year that was. We were in Isla Morada, the Keys, Christmas Day. A bunch of Cubans come in, all military-age men. They had all these, bad tattoos.
Off the boat, up to our private beach.
Yep, up to our private beach. And everybody wants to say, oh, it's the Cubans, But again, man, they're letting the people go that they don't want on their island, okay? These guys weren't their best, trust me. And I watched our Coast Guard help them to get to shore, and that's not what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to capture the vessel and vet who's coming in. But what actually happened was Miami-Dade buses stopped, private vehicles stopped all along there and just picked them up and took off. They utilized our emergency services to treat the ones that were dehydrated. So all the protocols that they say they're following and to secure our border, it's total bullshit. I witnessed it myself. It was very disheartening that day.
And what a coincidence it was that the buses showed up at the exact time they were coming
totally
on shore
planned. The whole thing's planned, man. And one of the locals, that's where they brought up the Social Security thing. They said they get Social Security and that they get a card, to spend money. And I mean, basically just come here and we start funding them right away.
And then they check us at airports and stuff. But these people get in vehicles and they have, once they're in a vehicle, you have no idea where they went. They have no IDs. They have nothing.
Right.
But they just scatter everywhere.
But you're put under the microscope to do anything, which maybe that has something to do with citizenship. Maybe you should read the 14th Amendment and really understand what it says. So, what you got, Gina?
I thought you'd want to talk about Biden announcing the creation of the first White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention to be led by Harris. And he stated in his speech that it's time to ban assault weapons.
What's an assault weapon?
Any weapon could be an assault weapon.
That's true. Yeah, fuck that guy and Harris. I mean, Jesus. And everybody that jumps on that, I know a few. A couple of them kind of blew me away. That got against AR-15s or I don't know what happened to some people out there, but I mean, they obviously lost their balls and forgot that they're men and have zero interest in understanding what history is. But this debate is old as hell, and it's not a debate at all. It's a right, and anybody that argues that a man doesn't have a right, or a woman, or anybody else to defend themselves with whatever they can obtain is just an idiot. You have no clue what you're talking about. You think the world is all peaches and cream, and any of us that have stepped outside of this country, we know better. And some of you that are living in certain neighborhoods, you know better. You have to have significant firepower, and everybody should have that ability. And it's not just the individual, I mean, there's a reason why we're supposed to be armed. And hey, with the current invasion, think about it. Think 10 years down the road, I'm not saying it's tomorrow. I don't know what'll end up happening. But these idiots are always trying to take away gun rights. They can't take it away. You can concede and give it away like a retard. You can definitely do that. I won't do that. But it's a right, not something they gave us. And it's not something some other idiot gave you. Just because some idiot might say that they don't think you should have that, well, hey, man, thanks for your opinion. That doesn't matter what you think. It's my right, just like it's my right to breathe. And anybody that argues against that, you're seriously a useful idiot for your own demise. So fuck Harris and whoever's in that suit for the the office of the president. I have no clue who that moron is.
All right. So lobbyists paid influencer nutritionists to promote aspartame and sugar to kids on social media. So the food and beverage industry lobbyists paid dozens of registered dietitians with millions of social media followers to promote aspartame and sugar.
I can't believe it.
to counter the WHO, the WHO.
Yeah, those guys are legit, right?
Recent assessment that the artificial sweetener is possibly carcinogenic. It is bad, but not gonna believe, trust too for everything because there's usually a agenda.
Well, I've been eating it every day and I'm not dead. That's what people say, right? Right? That's what yeah, you're right.
So the payments made as part of the American Beverage Association's Safety of Aspartame campaign represent a new tactic by multi-million-dollar food and beverage industry to influence consumers, paying health professionals to create Instagram and TikTok posts that promote aspartame, sugar, and other processed foods as part of healthy eating, according to the investigation. And the
That's awesome.
American Beverage represents hundreds of non-alcoholic beverage producers, including Coca-Cola and Pepsi, sponsored at least 35 posts by 10 registered dietitians, a fitness influencer, and a physician to promote aspartame as safe. But always trust your dietitians.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Your physicians.
Yeah, definitely trust those guys. So aspartame, it's been around for a while. But look, if you just look around at all of our health, our decline, essentially. Aspartame's in a lot of stuff.
Gum.
About almost all of your gum and your candies. They put it in there. It's it's an awesome neurotoxin. So if you're down with that, go ahead. And people ingest it and they're like, yeah, I'm good. But then they're popping Advil because they got a headache or they got some other bullshit going on. They can't make the connection. It's, it's buyer beware, really, guys. And really you need to get down to, I can't remember that dude's name on that 10X, but what is his name? Gary. Gary Beckett? Beckett? Is it Beckett?
Yes, it seems like it.
Yeah, look that dude up. Damn, that guy's got it going on. But basically, as close as your food is to the soil, the better off you're going to be. The closer you can get to what its original form was, the better off you'll be. But this shit they're making in a lab, whether it's the fake human cancer cells that they're going to call meat. Think about that. It's so disgusting. Or aspartame that's been around, that's a neurotoxin. It's designed to make things taste sweet, and it's going to fuck you up. It's just that simple. But hey, it's up to you. I'm just here to provide what they put out and let you know, and then you decide and do what you want.
Well, the more and more you know, the more you realize how money comes into play, such as
for health,
dairy. What is it? Dairy.
What they put aspartame in some of the dairy.
The saying they came out with for dairy.
For calcium?
For calcium and what does your body good. That came because of the dairy stuff.
We're not anti-dairy. There's
good dairy, there's bad dairy.
There can be some, but yeah, we're not anti-dairy. I probably eat way too much cheese. But yeah, exactly. And really you get your calcium more from the soil, from plants that break it down and make it utilized. Yeah, Americans, we don't know shit about health. We really don't. We've been hoodwinked in a lot of ways.
Our whole food pyramid's
our whole food pyramid's a piece
laughable.
of shit. It really is. And unfortunately, what our guys grow in the Midwest, that's not food, man. It really isn't. It might be food for some animals, but it's not good food for humans. And what is, it's very low amounts. And definitely the way we're growing it now is not food. You can't, look, let's get legitimate. Let's just utilize a little common sense. Well, I hate to use the word common sense because it's not common anymore, but we just utilize a little bit of thought. Petrochemicals, things that are designed to kill or to stop growth, which is what we spray on all of our plants now for our quote-unquote food. You're lacking some real thought process if you think that that's okay and good for you. It just really isn't. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. And if you just read the labels of some of the stuff that they're putting on, or all the stuff actually, if you actually read the labels, you read the studies, because they have to produce all this. You actually read the studies. They're generally really short. studies because, things start happening and they're saying, hey, we studied it for 45 days or 90 days and nothing happened. Or these things happen. They're going to say what happened, but people never read that shit, even the guys that use it. So I got way off on that.
Yeah.
But
and you're talking
whatever.
about studies, which you actually have to, follow the science. You actually have to know where that study is coming from. Who's writing the study? Was it paid for by?
Well, I know, but on those studies, they actually, the thing that's really interesting with this, and I'm always blown away by this because of exposure to ag chemicals. That's one of the reasons why I'm moving. But if you look at their labels, okay, they're online. You can look at the PDFs. You can go through and read. And what they actually publish, just what they publish, you're just like, shit, they're putting this on our food. And a lot of times they'll say there's no residue after so many days. And I can tell you that 90% of the time, that total bullshit, it's still there.
We're way off.
We are way off.
So
we can say that.
We're talking about health,
Yeah.
kind of, and food still. So another one is a lot of people use nonstick cooking sprays because it's healthier. Easy.
Yeah,
but,
anything in a spray can is good.
most cooking sprays contain like
Propellants.
dimethyl silicone anti-foaming agent that's added to paint, textiles, and cosmetics. Well, now if you use avocado oil spray, it could have propane in it, which is awesome.
So you could light it if you want.
So propellants including nitrous oxide, carbon dioxide, butane, and propane are added to the oil.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they say it's supposed to help it spray out of the can.
I mean, yeah, it would. It would do that. I'm not sure if you should be. What does it say about it?
Well, it's talking about
Excessive levels, which may contribute to cardiovascular disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, and other chronic diseases. I mean, so they tell you that,
right.
but
People usually
then they say
don't.
it's okay because it's hey man, it's FDA approved. Duh.
Or it's just a tiny bit.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about
So
it.
some healthier choices.
So taking all these little things that aren't good, and they don't accumulate, don't bioaccumulate, you'll be just fine. No worries. Go ahead.
So some healthier choices you could use are butter, real butter.
Real butter.
Would
That
only have
real
cream
butter.
or cream and salt.
Hold on the butter, because we went to a place and they brought out butter, and you got to read your stuff, man. You really do. I read it and it says 50% vegetable oil, and you think, oh man, vegetable oil, that's good. It's vegetables. Guess what, guys? It's soybean oil. It's not fucking vegetables, okay? I don't know how they get away with this shit. Like they mislabel stuff because hey, you try to make a product and put it out there for the public, and it's not. I mean, to get it to a market is absurd.
Butter, tallow, ghee, or organic coconut oil, and then you used to be able to use lard, and you still can if you make your own from grass fed.
Pasture raised pigs.
Animals, but now a majority of the hogs are being fed grain.
Well, they've been fed grain for a long time. The problem is the high in omega 6s. Yeah, high in omega 6s. They're the poor bastards are in a big metal building with concrete walls, and it's factory farming. It's to get a lot of pigs out all the time, but were we designed to eat that way? Should we be doing factory farming? I think one of our biggest issues is we're all kind of getting packed into towns, and that's, again, that's what they want us to do. And we should be spread out in the country, and we should be getting our local food from local farmers who actually are homeopathic with the way they grow stuff, maybe biodiverse or biodynamic or organic. Pasture raised, sunlight, not, slaughtering whatever it is, 18,000 pigs a day and, pushing it out all over the world, which kind of tells me if you're pushing out all over the world, maybe you could let China raise their shit and Japan, you know what I mean? Like keep local markets, and have farmers that are actually making money, making good stuff instead of like a few farmers making a lot of money, producing a lot of shit that's horrible for us and polluting everything. I mean, this seems
we're
so,
gonna have
you know,
people that-
there's a lot of backpedaling that would have to
People are
happen.
going to say that farmer, you can't grow a lot of fig doing that. But if we're going to get in too long of a video here, but maybe sometime we need to introduce them to Joe Salentine, who is a farmer that does just that and makes lots of money.
Yeah, listen, think about just 1 second. When you produce something, if you grow a garden, okay, and you were half decent at it, how much food did you produce? Did you produce way more than you could eat? I'm probably going to say if you were just a decent gardener, you did. You produced. You were giving it away. You were selling on a roadside stand. That's one person, okay, and that's how it used to be. I remember in the '80s when there was a lot of small farmers. I grew up in a farm community, and you know, it just started consolidating and they started going out of business. And the reason is because they got a little too reliant on the wholesale product versus like Kirk's popcorn. They grew popcorn. They sold it in the stores locally and they made money. You know, the closer they get to the retail end, the better they can do. But we don't have those guys around anymore. Go ahead.
That's all I got.
That's all we got. Well, hey man, be the line. Get informed. This isn't really a doom and gloom. This is like knowing what's going on, prepare for that, and you know, when somebody do you know, look for yourself. This whole thing with do your own research, and when the talking heads on the lamestream media, you know, think that's funny. They don't want you looking, man. They don't want an educated public. They don't want people looking, and they don't want people making their own decisions. So be the line, man. Be the line.